Welcome to Give Me Very Much a podcast. Very much a
Very
podcast.
much in audio, very much
Yes.
in headphone, very much
MP3.
conversation. Yes,
Period. Very much
ma'am.
audio file. This is our first episode. We usually have a third person in this review, but that nigga's sleep. Too dummy with an H, aka Daryl, aka Daral. You are missed. So Daryl is very missed. Maybe he'll pop up in here.
We all see.
We gonna see. We gonna see. I did a full face of makeup. Taz plopped on some chapstick. We're here, honey, and we're ready. Honey, we're ready and we're here. Look at my lock. Okay, I'm Jay Chi, by the way, as I fix this. This is episode 1. And that's Saint More, giving you Mora. We got Saint More. You can follow us on Instagram. But yeah, so we transition to the main topic. Or you got anything
Let's
else
get
you want to talk
into
about?
it. Yeah, get into it.
Okay, we can do that. We could go right into the main topic.
So we wanted to talk about voting.
Not the nonchalant voice, though.
Y'all want to talk about voting. Let's
You
talk
wanna
about
talk
governors. You want to talk about government. Okay, let me tell you about yourself.
Trump is so desperate. When he I tried to come up with a joke and it didn't work.
Yeah.
You want to finish? I tried to come with a joke. Trump is so, because the White Chicks movie, she was like, "Your mama is so old." Well, that can apply to Trump. Trump is so old. When he breastfeeds, power comes out of his titties. Okay. Wait, we can say that same thing for Joe Biden. Joe Biden is so old. My man's is so old, Man's is so old that when he brushes his teeth, turns into dust. Ew. No.
Bro.
Ew.
Ew. It's the dust for me.
It's the dustiness for me. Like, why am I breathing snow? Anyway. Why am I breathing dandruff? Head and shoulders, love. Head and shoulders. Head and shoulders.
That's out of pocket.
Now you're out of pocket. This is the pocket. You're out of it. All right. So today we're talking about voting.
So,
because,
specifically for California voters.
Yes, we're talking about voting specifically for Los Angeles, California. Taz lives in LA. I live in Santa Monica, but we all live in what? Los Angeles
County.
Are the propositions different across every state?
The proposition is they're different. I believe they're different across every state. Yes.
The proposition is different across every state. We're reading,
and then you might want to look into your local county and stuff too, for like the people you're voting on and stuff. Yeah,
this is just giving me very much a podcast.
Yeah,
so we're gonna be on our podcast stuff like NPR and give you very much information. We're irritating.
No.
Giving you very much entertainment.
We gonna give you a whole NPR who, CNN what, Fox
BBC who,
oh.
BBC who, who's BBC? Don't put that in your search engine.
Yeah. Okay, so
let's just start with the ones that are most controversial.
Let's go for it.
Well, let's start with the presidency. Let's start with the president.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's start with the presidents. We're Black. You know who we voting for. And I hate that he said it.
And
It made me mad that he said it. I was like,
it made me so upset. You wouldn't be getting a vote if Trump wasn't a Republican.
You're not black if you're not voting for me.
If the other candidate was any better, best believe the other candidate would be better. Like, don't even.
If the other
candidate that really
takes
black, my nerves.
That come out of his mouth.
Oh, definitely.
Speaking of black candidates, Kanye West, shut up. Stop.
He's running for vice president in California.
That's what I'm saying. And he tried to make it seem like he was running for president. You got a white man running for president. You're running for vice president. But it's a whole.
Not to mention, how you part of a whole other party, but you was wearing MAGA hats and shit. Like, how that work? That's not, you're not even a Republican. You running for a whole other party, but you wearing MAGA hats and shit. Like,
I feel like he did that. I felt like he did that out of rebellion. I guess he felt like he had some obligation towards the black community since the type of music he made before. But I don't know. I just
thought it was real interesting.
It was weird. I didn't get it.
If anything, it has literally taught me that literally everybody can run. You can.
Yes. That's what
you sitting on your couch.
The whole Trump
sitting in your car.
Are you still sitting on the couch? You could be up right now.
You could get up and run. Because anybody can do it now.
Exactly.
I mean, apparently you don't need qualifications other than being 35. And even that might go out the window eventually. That's just an amendment away from being revoked. So
I doubt that. They just
I know.
What's her name? Amy.
But I'm saying it's possible.
What's her name?
Just the people who are in power. Amy, the girl is that the one who's being sworn in for the Supreme Court and all that?
Yeah, Amy Barrett.
Coney Barrett.
Coney Barrett. She just That's another thing. Why on the Supreme Court do you get to sit there for life?
Now, let me tell you that.
That's dumb.
So, apparently, back when Lincoln was in the presidency, he made it to where that, or maybe he didn't make it, but something happened to where he was basically justifying it, saying that, not saying that he's justifying it, but this is his ideal set in the 18 whatever when he was elected. He's like, the American people decide on who the president is, and the president of that term appoints a judge to last a lifetime. And the biggest flaw that I feel with that reasoning is mostly the fact that people change, and especially within generations. Because I can tell you my generation is way different from like my parents' generation.
Which is why it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. The president of that time period gets to choose.
Rest in peace, RBG. But like,
oh, definitely,
she shouldn't have been there on there till she died. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for her for being a decent person and voting for civil rights and women's rights. I don't know why we're bigging that white woman up so much. Good for her for being a decent human being. Clap, clap, bravo. I'm tired of us bigging up white people for basic shit. That shit is weird.
And it's
you're a good person, because good for you. But I don't think you
basic
should be
shit
on the
is
Supreme
like
Court.
Hero status.
I don't think it should be on the Supreme Court for a lifetime until you die.
Can I tell you?
Literally shriveling.
Can I tell you? Yeah, they sit there until they want to retire. Now, what comes with that, like, I really feel like that should also be a thing that's in terms of like the presidency, like the people should vote on that. Maybe if we can't vote on the president, because we all know we're not actually voting on the president, we're voting to influence our electoral college. Mm-hmm. Let's keep it real. Maybe we should actually vote for who's on the Supreme Court. Yes. Maybe we should actually, the popular vote gets to decide who's going on the...
Because over time, things change. That's pretty obvious. You plant a seed for a flower for it to remain.
And like I said, people act like we can't change. Yeah.
That's what changes. That's on period.
People act like we can't change the Constitution. They made amendment after amendment after amendment. So what's another amendment? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. There's all types of like loopholes and shit all through our whole checks and balances system.
My thing is, why does it bother so many people that we have rights? I just don't.
Yeah.
That's that capitalism.
Crazy. I feel like
Who you voting
Greed.
for president?
I wouldn't blame capitalism. I blame greed. You know who I voted for.
Because that's how.
Because capitalism can
If
go
you're not
ahead.
black,
No,
then you're not
capitalism
voting
can
for me.
be, yeah.
Capitalism is
Ex-
greed.
yeah,
Capitalism is greed.
yeah,
Because this is how
that's true.
capitalism works. Somebody has to be on the bottom in order for somebody to step on you to get to
Yeah.
the top. Period.
But
So
that,
by keeping
yeah,
black people in stereotypes and making it seem like we're lazy and redlining us, not allowing us to go to
it's
certain
easy to
schools,
pin something on a
not allowing
scapegoat.
us to
It's
work in
ridiculous.
certain neighborhoods, live in certain neighborhoods, it makes it seem like, oh, well, if they just worked harder and tighten their bootstraps, then maybe they will get where they want to go. And it's like, no, people don't hire you off of your name on a resume. How are you supposed to catch up?
As much as we want to say that,
How are you supposed to catch up, my
is
friend?
come on,
Eh,
come on,
eh,
come on.
eh.
We just had this conversation with the same thing about homelessness and how you literally can't do anything without having an address. So how
Yeah,
are you supposed to be not homeless?
and people be complaining about homeless people. Even here in Santa Monica, this is what
Yeah,
people do. They complain about homelessness. Oh, it's so many homeless people. I'm Sarah at the town hall meeting. It's so many homeless people are in our neighborhood. I just don't feel safe walking down the street. And this beautiful city that we have, I really feel like it's being taken over. Then, on the other hand, they're going to show plans for housing. She's going to come back to the town meeting and be like, see, as a homeowner, I just don't feel like we should have all these new housings. And, affordable housing attracts the wrong crowd.
now, can I tell you something with that? You know, all of these new low income housing that they're building are actually raising land value because the architecture is modern design.
They don't care about that. They just care that lots of more
That's
black
just,
people are moving in. They
I
don't care about
know. That's what I'm saying.
that. They don't care about that.
When you
They don't care
actually
about
sit
that.
down and list everything, pros and cons, and have them cited next to each other to show people, they will look at their implicit, and you will automatically just showcase to everybody their implicit biases. Because if you can sit there and see that there's 10 pros and 3 cons, and you're going to say, I just don't feel like they should be in my neighborhood.
But
Sounds
let
real
me tell you the tea.
familiar.
Let me tell you the tea.
Sounds real familiar.
Let me tell you the tea. If you live in an urban neighborhood, aka the ghetto, whatever you want to call it, and you see this trifecta, a Starbucks, a Chipotle,
Oh,
and a
bitch.
Chick-fil-A, your neighborhood is gone. Okay? It's time to start looking for other places to
Compton
live.
has a Target
Because
now.
it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
It's over. Because they're
Chipotle,
building that
Starbucks, and
stadium.
Target.
It's over. They have a
Have you
Chipotle
seen the
too?
Inglewood Stadium? Oh yeah, they
That
have a
looks pretty.
Chipotle. It's right on what, like Alameda? Not Alameda.
Soon
What
as
is
you
that
see
street?
soon
Alondra?
as you see that trifecta, your neighborhood is gone.
Somewhere.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's for the white folks. It's weird how they clean up the city for the white folks, but we've been living here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you'll see it too. You'll see it. You'll see it. Because people try to take care of their neighborhoods because they actually care because they grew up in the slums. It's
Exactly.
only slums because their government doesn't give them the proper resources.
Yeah, because you see trash is overflowing, and it's like
Yeah.
people are clearly trying to throw away their trash. Where is the city funding to come clean it up? Because people
Yeah.
are clearly trying to throw away their trash.
Mhm.
Clearly, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, that's why it's important to vote, especially
Come
locally.
on.
I know we're focusing on
On the presidency and
the
stuff, but
primary, the presidency,
look,
the
where it
general
hits
election.
close to home, it's like what's going on in DC doesn't always affect what's happening here in LA.
No,
And that
there's levels.
transfers to any other city that you're in. What's going on in DC does not mean what's going on in New York, does not mean what's going on in Miami, does not mean
Period.
what's going on in Chicago.
Exactly.
However, you want to stay on top of all of them.
Your
The
local election.
state, the city, the local, the federal, because it's all your government. You have 4 governments. You
Exactly.
do.
The
You have
easiest
your
way to
city,
do
you have your
that,
county, you have your state, you have your country. 4
well,
governments.
it's even lower than that. You have your district.
Yeah, that too. District boards
Exactly. You have your
and shit like
districts,
that. Yeah,
then
sub
you have
districts
your
because LA has the county, then the city, then our city's divided into like four sub districts. Then that those four sub districts are divided into like five districts each. Like LA is fucking humongous.
yeah, that's why I was
Yes,
like,
girl,
we're from
get
Los Angeles.
into because
Anytime anybody asks
yeah,
me where I'm from, I'm like, I'm from LA.
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 Yeah, because
I'm from
unless you've been here, you would never know how large this place is.
exactly.
Like,
I'm from LA.
dude.
That's it. That's it. Don't ask me now at the car shop. I'm just from LA. That's that. But how does it go? Does it go?
Dude.
It goes county. It goes
Mhm.
district, county, city,
District, city,
state,
county.
district, city. Oh, district, city. You mean?
Yeah,
Why
because
is it like
LA
that?
County, what? So it's
Oh,
the districts
district,
are
city. Okay.
come together to form a city, and
Yes.
then the cities form together to a county, and then
And
the
then
county
county
forms
forms
the state, and
state,
the states
state.
form the country. Yeah.
Her. Y'all
Yeah.
getting lessons.
Sure.
Y'all getting lessons. We NPR in this
Girl, period.
bitch. Very much
Period.
NPR.
Yeah, very much
Very much
information,
NPR.
very much book, library.
Not book. Very much giving you very much
Give you
7th
very
grade.
much Libro, very much Braille, bitch. Any way you want it, how you want it, you can get it.
Very much reading is fundamental. Very much
Shit.
reading rainbow.
Shit. Very much PBS, okay? Y'all want to cover, bitch.
I'm gonna have you
You
turn
go
to
there today.
Soul 72.
Dude.
But
That
yeah,
shit,
I'm voting for
yes.
Biden. Do we have
Voted
a
for
choice?
Biden. I mean, come on. 'Cause why? Okay. Okay. I know the majority of us here voted for Biden. We know.
We're from LA. We're black.
How many of y'all
We're
know
black. We're
Black
Gen
Trump
Z.
supporters?
We're black. We're Gen Z, and we're from LA.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're queer.
I'm queer as fuck.
We voted for Biden.
Yes. Because
We
I don't
tried.
trust Trump's racist ass and I don't trust Biden or Pence's homophobic ass. Okay.
But to your
I got some
question,
shit
no,
going
I have
on.
not met a black Republican like in real life.
Yeah, me neither.
I think we
Funny,
in
right?
LA we live in a bubble. We
Yeah.
talked about this. Not
Yeah.
California, we live in a bubble. In LA,
No, in LA.
because you go
In
to San
LA. Because
Diego or you
they're a
go
little different
to
in other
Orange County,
spots,
giving
girl.
me very much Trump, very much
Oh
racism,
my God. Why
very
did they say
much.
Orange County is the Florida of the West Coast? I said that is not. And I laughed because the people that I met from Orange County, I will say they're just a little different. Like, just a little different. And
A
it just,
little. My mom, when my mom was younger, she went to go babysit a family up there, and she was walking with
uh,
a child, and somebody was screaming at her, like a skinhead was screaming at her, calling her an N-word with the ER, and she had to grab the baby, grab the tricycle, and run home because he was
oh
coming
my
after her.
God.
That's Orange County, honey.
That's orange. I feel like a lot we have okay. We have races too, but I feel like a lot of them are more so either passive aggressive or unaware of their biases and have to be educated. And not being that bitch,
I
but
don't
like
like
it sucks that
that.
I have to educate you
I don't like that.
about
I'm tired of
your
people acting
wrongdoings.
oblivious to like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
5-year-old can see. That's
yeah,
good. That's
yeah.
fast. I'm not
Hmm.
explaining shit to nobody. If you get socked
Yeah,
in the face, you get socked in the face. That's
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I shouldn't have to tell you that you're being a fucking
that's a
asshole.
microaggression
Like,
for you have to sit there and
yeah,
explain racism. Like, come on.
I have to explain racism to the
Or
race that created race. Funny, funny.
funny.
Got it. Okay.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
However you
real
hilarious.
hilarious. Yeah, yeah. Okay, y'all keep that over there because I don't know what to do with all that.
Yeah, but it's
It's
obvious that we
just,
voting for Biden. It's very
oh
obvious.
yeah,
I think Kamala, he played it well by having a
yeah.
black woman.
Uh-huh.
Because, I mean, we could all sit and hope that Kamala keeps him in check. I don't know. Because
honestly, as the vice president, I don't know. And also given her track record, it
yeah, what is
seeing
that?
watching the debates made me feel a little bit more how do I say, a little bit more comfortable, for lack of better words, voting for Biden and Harris, but I still
Really?
don't feel comfortable given our options.
It
It's
made me wish that
2016 all over
Kamala
again.
was
Given our
in the
options,
presidential. That's
yeah,
what it made me wish.
definitely.
That Kamala
But
was
I'm
in the
saying
presidential seat
due to circumstance.
because she knew more about his plans than he did.
Yeah,
I was like
like
her.
I said, dude, I watching. Okay, I didn't watch the presidential debates. I only watched the vice president debate all the way through because it was the only thing that was actually competent. Um, I watched clips of the presidential debate, but it seemed like it was just a lot of question, stop, deflect, and move on to the next person. Question, stop, deflect, move on to never answering anything,
They
just
had these.
deflecting.
They keep having these
Versus,
passive aggressive pushover moderators. You even get a
yeah,
black lady in there. They get
yeah.
a
Oh
black
my
lady to
God,
moderate.
yeah.
Excuse me, sir, but you really didn't answer that.
Yeah,
Whether she's
like the woman who
Republican or
told Trump
not,
straight up when she went. I don't know if this happened last year or something, but she was there and she asked him some questions like, "What are you gonna do for us?" And he tried to like once again stop, deflect,
I've
not
done
answer.
so
And she
much
was
for
like,
the
"No, no,
black
no,
community.
no. First of all, you're not gonna cut
I've
me
done
off, and
so much
secondly,
for the
I
black
asked you
community.
this, not that. I asked you about you, not what this person did. I did not say anything about Obama." And she just really let him have it because I'm like, dude,
If they had a black woman, not a black man, a black woman
woman,
moderating, she was like, all right, now whether she was Republican, it didn't matter what side she was on. She would have kept it. She would have kept the girls together.
yeah.
She would have kept the girls together.
Yeah,
Period. She would have kept the girls
yeah,
together.
good.
It's always us to get it done.
I don't know, watching the vice presidential debate, like, it just made me, given our options, it made me feel a little bit better just because of seeing how, like, I guess my fear, so to speak, was her lack of strong will, I guess, just given that she's a woman, you have to fight harder in these types of, just because you're a woman, you have to fight harder because when you speak your mind, you're put down, but when you sit in the background, it's like, what is she here for? You
That's because
know? So
she
just seeing her like
isn't even
kind of
somebody's
handle
president. I'm
herself
speaking.
within, yeah, I was like,
She's vice
okay,
president. I'm
okay,
speaking.
let me see what she has to, okay,
I'm speaking.
go ahead, sis. Finish what you gotta say. This is your
I'm
time.
speaking.
37 seconds, your time. like, no, because you're not about to sit up here. You're not about to cut me off. And you're
Sure.
not about to deflect. I asked about
She's the
you,
vice
not
president. I'm
them.
speaking.
This is about you.
The
Don't
facial
even.
expressions. I'm speaking.
Oh, I'm
I'm
yeah. So that specifically made me feel a little better. I'm like, okay. And then listening to like their plans and stuff like that. I just want to see how much of it actually gets fulfilled because they are politicians at the end of the day. You know, they're gonna say what they need to say to get in. But I
Same with
I
the
don't know.
Supreme Court.
It's
That Amy Coney
yeah.
Barrett was trying to pretend like she was in between and moderate. I was like, girl, we know how you feel about abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Stop playing.
Come on,
We don't.
girl. They
I'm getting
banned
a
abortion in
little bit of
Poland, and they're over there fucking
I'm getting
shit
a little
up.
bit of a racist vibe, a little bit of a anti-feminist vibe. I'm getting a
Yo,
vibe.
I was talking to someone on FaceTime yesterday, and
Mhm.
she was saying how apparently one of the people that she used to be friends with, she's not friends with anymore. But I guess the girl was like, women shouldn't have rights. I'm like, she's like, yeah, like I knew she was conservative, this, that, and the fourth, but like she said that, and I was just like, whoa. I'm like,
Women should
the
have
fact that
rights.
women think like that, some women, not women, but
Women should
some
have
women think like that,
rights.
and it's
Was
just
she
like,
referring to the Bible? That's my question.
no, she was referring to the republicanism and shit like that, and I'm like,
Conservative.
conservative shit. I'm
Okay.
like, wow, y'all are real different. And you know, even with that, like, I just feel that people should just do what they feel like doing and leave everybody else alone. when it comes to shit like that.
But
Like when it comes to our rights,
you could say
when
that,
it
and
comes
then
to
they can
like,
do what they feel like doing when they're voting.
well, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to our rights and shit like that, like, why is it so hard to just have certain things protected? Why is it still a debate on whether this person can have an abortion and shit like that?
And the thing
Why
is,
is it a debate on whether these people can get married? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with
all
you,
those
sis.
issues,
Like,
all those issues have like nothing to do about race. But when you vote in a certain way, it eventually trickles down and hurts the people
yeah,
who look like us.
come on. Always.
It
Always.
always. And people pretend like they don't see the connections, and that's what irritates me. And I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It happens every
It's
time.
all there.
Even when
It's
it's caught on
all
camera,
right in front of you.
everybody want to deny it.
Yeah.
Black Republicans.
George Floyd is a prime example of that. Even when it's caught on camera, he still drops the 3rd-degree murder charge. As if he didn't need the extra fucking 10 years to add it to his sentence. Like, okay. But he killed a man on live television. But okay. He didn't kill him, though, because he just doesn't deserve that 3rd degree, which isn't even the highest degree. Okay.
Let's get into the propositions.
Let's go. Yeah. California, yay.
So the one, we talked about this, but the one that bothered me the most, which was absolutely it was like a double-edged sword. Like, it was absolutely stupid. This is for the state of California. I'm going to read it for you, and I'll insert it in the video so you can see.
For the state of California.
It's Prop 25, our state measure 25. And it says referendum on law. Referendum? Yeah, I know English. Yeah. Okay. Referendum on law that replaced money bail with system based on public safety and flight risk. So all that jumbled word bullshit, I hate when they do that too. I just say, this is this.
Just say it. Why you gotta speak legalese?
That's what
like,
they did
when you
on
have
rent
55
control.
million people.
Remember the
What
last?
sense does that make? Huh?
Remember the last vote, last time we voted and they were doing rent control, and they had worded it like, it was like,
yeah, all over the place. It didn't make any sense, and it didn't pass
because they made it like
mm-hmm.
I had to play Scrabble. Like, why am I playing
why do I need to bring a dictionary to the fucking mail balance? That doesn't make sense.
Klingon words. Why am I playing Klingon?
Yeah.
Girl, I speak Ebonics, but girl, damn. What?
Okay.
What is that?
No, yeah. And so basically that would just all be mumbo jumbo for them placing in a system to where they would remove cash bail depending on your risk of leaving and not showing up to your court date.
Now they've tried.
Now, what does that sound like to y'all?
They've done this before, but it was for actual flights. But it was just to profile Muslim people. What this proposition is saying that if you fit the detail, if you fit the description, you ain't
getting no bail,
even if you had the money. But here on top of that, here's the problem with bail. The people who are going to these prisons aren't rich people. They don't live in crime-ridden neighborhoods. They don't live in neighborhoods of poverty where they have to resort to crime, which makes them a felony, which when they get out, they can't get a job, so they resort back to crime. So it's just a whole little system. So if you don't have money to feed your family, you have money to pay for bail. And guess who those people look like? Hey. Black and brown people. Hey.
Everywhere.
So,
and you know that goes hand in hand with the other proposition. Oh, go ahead.
AKA flight risk means we're profiling Black and brown people.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Exactly. If you get in there, like, it's you're not gonna get out, whether you got the money or not. That's just based off of whether they think they think you'll show up to the court date.
Exactly.
Nobody can predict that, but you, because that's your life.
The only base. This is America. Girl, what are they going off of? the
Come
way you
on.
look and the skin tone that you have,
Come
probably the
on.
neighborhood that you come from,
Most
the
definitely.
job that you.
What's your address on file?
Mm-hmm.
What neighborhood are you
Oh, this
living
is
in?
a
What's
problem
your
neighborhood. We get a
district?
lot of calls from this neighborhood.
Oh, Normandy and 52nd. Yeah,
Not
we don't know if
Normandy.
you'll make it to
Not
court, so we're gonna escort you. We're gonna keep you here and escort you on your day, okay?
It's
Just
just
hang tight.
another way to
This little
profile
shit,
people.
dude,
Racially profile
let these
people.
people live. Come on, come on. We have the lowest crime rates in history right now. Like, we're doing what we do. Why do you need to change it? And I really believe that one goes hand in hand with the, what is that? Prop 20, rolling back reforms in criminal sentencing, parole, and DNA collections. And I feel that these two go hand in hand because what the Prop 20 would basically do is recategorizing certain offenses as felonies instead of misdemeanors. So now, instead of you going and being a poor person who just stole some bread, let's just say, and you get caught stealing bread, that's now a felony. That's not just a misdemeanor that you're stealing food to feed a family that you hypothetically have. No, that's a whole felony, and now you're actually stuck with no bail because they feel you're not going to make it to court
Because you're a
because you're facing a
flight risk.
felony.
Because you're a flight. Oh,
Come
that goes
on, let's
hand in
talk about
hand.
it. Let's talk about it. Prop 20, Prop
Wow.
25, they're not even next to each other, but they coincide with each other. Ain't that some
Wow. I
shit?
didn't see that.
California for you, bitch.
More.
California, you gotta put it all together. Put it
Wow.
all together. You're not just here on a misdemeanor anymore. No, ma'am, that cannot be expunged. This is a felony. You're a felon. Flight risk.
Like I said, giving you
F.
very much CPR
Shit.
right now. Giving you
Girl,
very
I'm not
much,
about to sit. Let me get up out my chair real
very
quick.
much
I need to
Venn
stretch.
diagram.
Girl,
Giving
no,
you
I'm being
very much.
serious.
Wow.
Like, y'all not about to sit up here and pull a fast one fast. It's one thing that Prop 25 is a double-edged sword, but when you have a double-edged sword quick with a fucking ninja star, no, you try to fuck some shit up. You try to fuck some shit up. What? Yo. And I really feel like this is so insane to me. Like,
Believe it. Nato Uzumaki.
dude.
Damn.
Yes. So instead of, yes, all of these little offenses here and there, and I feel like, once again, that's something that shouldn't be all addressed in one bill. That's something that should be consecutively voted on. If they felt like recategorizing the laws, I feel that they should have taken all of the laws and really let the people vote on how offensive this law is, because it ranges from theft to rape. So I wouldn't really necessarily put theft and rape in the same. I know they're
Exactly.
both bad, but they're not the same amount of bad. Like, trust trust me on
But
that.
America is just shit with glitter sprinkled on top.
Because America is a third world country with access to credit. That's what makes us different. We ain't no different.
No,
We ain't no different.
no.
We just have credit. We're in debt. And I mean trillions of
And
debt.
the funny thing is, your girl is broke. I'm on EDD.
Yeah.
That's a
Come on.
EDD girl. But I think it was funny how I'm getting. So here's a scenario. I'm getting money from the government. Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't have a job. I have no money. Okay, so I'm getting my money from the government. So why the government had the audacity to ask me if I wanted to take out taxes from government funded money? So what
And
you're
of
telling me is you're paying your own taxes while Jeff Bezos
well,
is paying zero
Trump
in taxes. Why are you
in the
asking me for my
office.
EDD money? This is EDD money. This is
Come
subsidized
on.
income.
Come
Girl,
on.
why are you gonna be so
Come
dumb to pay
on.
your own taxes when you have billionaires who pay zero in taxes? Maybe we should I don't know, knock
Ask
on their
them.
door, see what they're doing.
Yeah.
I want EDD. I want to know it.
Yeah. Come on.
It's
This is
free. Swipe your
ridiculous.
EBT.
Like,
That is me.
come on. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You know, EDD have the nerve to try and say that I make too much.
And he had the nerve to call me not
The
poor.
nerve.
Okay.
Dude, I was like,
prove it then. Prove I'm not poor.
come on, prove it. Prove it.
That's a nerve to call
This
me
shit
not
is
poor. Like,
ridiculous. I don't like I could really sit here and just name all of my circumstance. I'm like, I don't you dare as the American fucking government say I'm poor, as the California government to say that I make too much money.
Oh really? Prove it.
Prove it. Shit.
I want it on paper.
I know.
I want it on
I
paper.
know. That's great. How is it? How is it? I make too much money for EDD, but I don't make too much money for food stamps. But it's both government subsidized things. How? Where's the discrepancy? And how y'all don't have the same system? If this is all through DPSS, and it's not even the same card. So I'm just so mind boggled. It's just there's so many things that's wrong with our bureaucracy. The poverty caught me by the throat, girl. It's so much that is just wrong with our bureaucracy, with our systems, with just our governments, and just it's ridiculous. Like once again, I'm gonna say this. I said it once and I'll say it again. We sit here and we hire these politicians who went to Yale, Harvard, Brown, X, Y, and Z. You went to all of these Ivy League colleges, but yet you can't get our balanced budgets together. We're still going more in debt. California is putting in more money to the federal economy that we're getting back in taxes.
It's simple cut.
How?
It's so simple. It's like, that's how you know. See, here's the problem. That's what's about to spring up. This is the problem. Our government is not a government. It's let me get hired so I can take bribes from businesses.
It's a business.
Our country is run by companies, and that is the problem.
Yeah.
People are getting people rather get paid from the company than be an American. And for their country to be an American.
Come on. But you know, that's where the trick comes inside. When everybody is so high off of the idea of the American dream, nobody's worried about getting money from being a corporation. Nobody's worried about, you know, we even talked about with the Electoral College and how it mostly gives power to the small states, which most of the small states are run by businesses. Funny, right? It's very interesting. The more that you see how complex everything works out, you see how actually it's simple. It's just made to look complex, but everything's really connected. Come on.
That is so crazy. That is so
it's crazy. America's a business.
Because if you start a business, anyone who's starting a business, a lot of people have online businesses. This is for when you get big and you become into like an actual incorporation. State taxes for businesses is different across each state. Places with the cheapest taxes is places like Connecticut, Delaware, Maine,
Maryland, Vermont.
Exactly. Those are small states with small populations. Why? Because nobody want to go there. Ew. Yeah. Anyway, shouts to the people in Delaware. Okay. But I'm going it. Who are the people living there? The companies and corporations. Who are they? Who can pay to have the people living in those states, in those cities and counties vote and pay for propaganda?
Come on.
To pay these people to vote in a certain way.
Come on.
Companies with money. So this is the problem with the American system.
It's not lobbying if you're paying the people. It's only lobbying if you pay politicians.
If you're propaganding with your own money.
Come on.
Period.
Come on.
And that's a problem. There's too much money in politics. That's not a democracy.
I feel
like you said, an oligarchy. That's not a democracy. That's whoever has the most money can do what they want. And that's exactly what's happening with Prop 23. Or is it 22? No, Prop 22. And Prop 22 exempts app-based transportation and delivery companies from providing employee benefits to certain deliverers. So basically, if you were to vote yes on this, drivers would keep their freelance status, but then they will get benefits. If you voted no, they would become employees of whatever state. They would become employees of Uber, and within for California, they will be recognized as employees and would be able to
Yeah.
401ks,
Mm-hmm.
benefits, all the employee benefits based on their hours and how they work.
Yeah.
My problem with this proposition is, like we were talking about, how companies pay to do what they want. This is what they did. They paid to bring up Prop 22 in order to sway. What happened? You okay?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, because I thought you were like,
No, girl, I'm
something else.
listening. I'm near you.
Oh,
Shit.
I thought somebody
I'm
was
sorry. Go
coming
ahead.
around. You were like, wait, it's coming. But okay. Okay. So Prop 22, basically Uber is trying pay to push this proposition. You're gone. Pay to push this proposition so that they can do what they want. And that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we
Yeah.
pass this, it's saying, oh, I can throw money at the system and get what I
Mm-hmm.
want.
Yeah. And what other businesses are going to do that if they get their way? That's the
Mm-hmm.
first thing, because and you can't sit there and say, well, you don't know what's going to happen. No, because once one company does it, it's up to the courts to decide whether the next one can. And once that decision gets made, that's that.
Yeah, but
Okay. And
what the
that once again
proposition
goes hand in hand with
also,
lobbying. And
once it's
huh?
passed, it can't be unwritten unless
Yeah.
stated by
Unless
the
it's
company that they
amendment.
want to do that. So that's a problem. So that means they get to do
Mm-hmm.
whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay. That's not okay. And
Yeah.
what are these benefits? They never even stated what the benefits exactly are. They're just like, they would get some benefits.
Yeah.
What are they?
Come on.
No one stated.
Come
So
on. I don't know. And
they could be
honestly, I
getting
don't
5%
know
off
that and call it a
on
benefit, because
McDonald's.
California, the state provides us with healthcare now. So that ain't coming through your employer.
Nope. And
You
and
know,
because
the
you're
state provides you with
freelance,
dental and shit. Yeah, you're freelance, so
it's
you're
based off how you make. So you might not
mm-hmm.
make an actual salary. Okay,
Yep.
you might not make an
Or
actual minimum wage hourly pay,
yeah.
which here in Santa Monica at least is $15 an hour. In
Mm-hmm.
California, it's Santa Monica, California, are $13 an hour, mostly statewide.
Yeah.
You would not be getting that because you're freelance. You have to wait for people to call you. You gotta drive over there, then you gotta take them
Yeah.
all the way across town, then you gotta wait for another person. You might not be making $13 an hour, $15 an hour, sweetie, unless
Yeah.
you are busting your behind, honey.
Girl, you are an independent contractor. You are tell that nigga I'm a business my way. That's how that goes. Okay, you're a business
Thought that
at that
nigga, I'm
point.
a
A
business.
business. Like,
I don't work
and that's the thing about
at
like
all.
early, because I think back to like when I was about to be hired as like a independent contractor for a company. Jada, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna get sued, so I'm not gonna go there. But yes, I come on, and they were trying to hire us as independent contractors, but my thing is like, I'm trying to get my life together. Like
I don't have
that
time for this.
is really unstable for me. Like I don't
Running.
know.
Do
There's
you
no guarantee.
would you like a
There's nobody.
policy?
I
Would
don't
you
know
like
who
a
am I holding
policy?
accountable. Yeah, that's not it for me. I'm like, I don't really have a car to be doing all this. I'm
And they
just
would
like,
put
I
us
don't
with a
know.
black
There's too much.
lady. They would put us
Come
with a
on.
black lady.
Yeah.
Young
Oh
black.
my God, a black lady who is a retired actress.
I like how you noticed her from a show. I didn't even.
Nah, look, cause I was rewatching this. It's a good show, and I was rewatching it.
What show
I
was
was
it?
like, 90210.
Okay, so she was young,
It's my
young, or she
shit.
was playing like an adult.
Yes. I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know how she was, but she was. Well, she was an adult at the time, but I don't know her age.
okay.
But yeah, I was like,
No, like
oh,
on the show, was she playing a
insane.
kid or an adult?
Yeah, she was an adult.
Crazy.
Baby. But yeah, I was just like, I don't really have the time for this. I don't have the resources to put in to get anything from this. This is a lot for me. I need benefits that you guys aren't saying you'll provide for me. I'm just getting a lot of empty promises.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of my thing with this too, is because Uber says like, oh, the rides to start being cheaper, this, that, and the fourth, because you don't have to pay these California taxes. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, but like,
You
how
don't have to
much
pay
do
that.
the drivers get paid?
Whatever they make for that day. And Uber is so big, they can afford to pay them hourly wages.
Yeah.
Which,
Because I remember it. I don't know how accurate this is, but I remember someone that I used to know who used to drive for Uber. I believe it used to be, before they changed it, used to be like you would get hourly plus commission or a bonus off of like certain rides or like certain distances, or if you did like X amount of rides in a certain amount of time, you would get a bonus, things like that. Like people were actually making money.
mm-hmm.
It's like now I don't
Did they
know
take
how they're
that
going to
away?
do it, because they took away the bonuses, I believe. I think
That's what I'm
now
saying.
it's like
If
a
you
lot.
said what the
Yeah.
benefits were, and if you didn't lobby to get this up on our ballots, then maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. Because
It's
clearly
crazy.
it's a proposition because the state had to intervene and be like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You were trying to do something shady.
24 is a very interesting one, a very interesting proposition, because it would basically expand our data privacy laws in the state of California. We've already done this, so to speak, somewhat. The first push was in 2018, I believe, where it would just basically make it mandatory for businesses to tell you what data they're gathering and how they're using it. That was like the first step. This
That
is kind
includes
of
your
sort of the
race.
second step.
That includes
Yeah,
your
your
race, your
race, gender,
ethnicity,
ethnicity,
your
addresses,
location,
emails, location, all of that.
your
Yes,
health
all of it. They have to
information.
tell you all of it. Anything you enter into an electronic device, the manufacturer has to tell you what they're collecting and how they're using it. So Prop 24 goes a bit further to expand upon that, to basically make it to where you now have the option to give permissions of when and where, because it was kind of a loophole to where like you had to provide the information to have access to certain services. You know how like you have to have an email and a password to log in something. That's understandable. But now it's going a little further to say that, yes, I'm giving you my email because I have to, but you cannot sell my email to that company. You cannot do this with my address. You cannot do that with my information.
Right.
It's basically making it mandatory for the companies to have to ask you if they can sell your data, basically.
Yeah, because
So
now they
do
just
with
do
that
it
as you
very
will.
shady, like, and y'all need
Yeah.
to read the terms and conditions a little bit. At least
Yeah,
something.
definitely. At least skim through it.
Exactly. Y'all
At
just
least skim
step,
through
step,
it.
step, 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 step,
Girl.
step. Yeah, because they can sell, and like the thing with that, like when they sell like health information, they can sell that to insurance companies. And when you go to insurance companies, they try to use that against you, saying like, "Oh no, you need to
Oh,
pay
you have
more. We're not
pre-existing
covering
conditions.
exactly. We're not covering this." That's another issue. That needs to be a proposition. Health
Yeah,
insurance. What the
yeah,
hell?
yeah.
Why the amount of money I have
Oh,
matters for me to get? Oh, you always getting attacked.
sir, sir,
They were always getting attacked by a bee. Sir, sir, sir.
sir.
I hate when insects do that. Like, you got all this
Yeah,
outside
you
and you
got
in
all
my
this
area.
outdoor space, and you want
Get
to be
out my area. Like, you got.
like, sir, sir.
Excuse
Calm
me.
down.
Excuse me, miss.
Let me holler at you.
Let me get a piece
Nigga.
of bread, please. Excuse me, miss.
Oh my god. Let
Girl,
me get a piece of pancake. No.
you got all this
Oh my
outside
gosh.
and you over
Come
here in my
on.
space. Like, why? I don't even know you
For
like
what?
I don't know you
For
like that.
what? Oh, you got a whole queen bee at home.
Your
Like,
name is
for what?
like, and your name is. I don't
Okay,
know
Michael.
you. Not the biggest name, Michael. Okay. See, right now you don't want to lie, Michael.
Come on.
uh,
Oh man,
but
but um, yeah, definitely do with that as you will with
mm,
your privacy. Privacy. So another one I want to kind of bring up, which it's very, I think it's very good, and I also want to bring it up because it's for our state, but it could trickle into other states, which is Prop 18, and that goes hand in hand with another prop. I'll find it somewhere, but Prop 18 specifically, which would basically it lets 17-year-olds vote if they would be 18 by the time they're able to vote. Or okay, let me rephrase that. 17-year-olds who are born. Go ahead.
Okay. Prop 18 amends California Constitution to permit 17-year-olds to vote in primary and special elections if they will turn 18 by the next general election and be otherwise eligible to vote. So if the election is in the same year that you're turning 17, because you have to, there's steps to voting. As you know, we had to vote. We had to trickle down for the Democratic Party. We had to trickle down whether we wanted Biden or Kamala or Bernie. So if you were 17 at that time, you technically right now would not be able to do that. And in this coming election, if you were 18 by the time we got to this primary election, November 3rd, for California, you would not be able to vote. However, this prop says if you're 17 within that time frame, and by the time it's time for the general election, primary, special election, if you're 18 at that moment, you can vote throughout the whole process until we get to that
period. And it's not provisional, sis. It's not provisional. Okay. Provisional. That's from what I've gathered. I believe provisional is like when you vote, but it's not specifically count, or it's counted later, or you only get to vote on certain topics. Like I remember when I lived in Samo, I think my vote for the Board of Education was provisional because I wasn't a Santa Monica resident.
I do remember that. See, me and Kaz are active in our voting community. I was an inspector for the voting polls. Inspector regulates, basically is in charge of all the poll workers, and you set up everything and you're in charge. And if you want to that's an easy way to get involved and get to knowing what's going on. And on top of that, you get paid. So we got paid.
Period.
And don't be afraid to be an inspector. I was an inspector. How old were we? Was I 17 or 18?
18, 17, 18.
18. When I first did it, I was like 16, 17. But I was 18. I wasn't even were we out of high school? No,
I think we just graduated because I turned 18 like right before graduation, like 2 days. So
right. Okay.
It's like right after,
So we just graduated. So don't be afraid to be an inspector. Oh yeah, because in order to be an inspector, you have to be 18 or older. So we were 18. Still fairly
get out there and do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
It's not scary. Don't be afraid to do it. It was very easy. And I did it with my family. You can do it as a family thing. You can all get a paycheck and go to Shakey's. Everybody get paid.
Ride it over Biddy.
It's very easy money. It's very easy money. You don't have to travel far. You can probably go to the polling station is probably at your local library down the street from you.
Yeah.
Well, I live in Santa Monica, so it's very convenient. But everything should be very close to you, so you wouldn't have to travel far to get you a cute little paycheck.
Yeah.
And just do
the
voting.
area I live in, there's a lot of spaces to go to. There's the park over here, the Grove. There's like a bunch of metro stops even. There's certain metro rail stations that have voting boxes where you can drop your ballot in early. So get the word out there. It's not. There's no reason to. Y'all got options.
At this point, don't mail it in. Drop it in a box, or on election day, slide it in.
Well, that I would say. That's the crazy thing about it. So I saw online somebody set one of the boxes on fire.
Yeah, and threw water in them.
Yeah. So I would say, if anything, drop your votes in on election day if you have that chance to go in and walk in and do it. But if you can't, then drop yours in a box somewhere in a neighborhood that you feel is safe for your ballot. Okay, drop it in a white neighborhood. Shit. Because the way they treat freaking POCs out here is a little different. Drop your ballot in the box of a white neighborhood and keep it pushing. Shit. This shit is crazy.
Right.
This shit is crazy. That's a whole felony, but y'all can't catch the person who did it.
That part.
I bet you they'll get bail. Now, shit. I can't stand people.
The whole
I
system.
can't. Like the whole system
It's
sucks.
rigged. It's all
rigged.
It's rigged. That's what it is.
It's a scam. This whole country's a scam. This whole country is one big pyramid scheme. If we happen to have another like 2016 moment this year, like, I'm out. I'm out of here.
But you can't go nowhere.
Fuck y'all.
Because of COVID, it was so bad that everyone is like,
Girl.
oh, you thought that passport was cute. It used to be cute.
It used to be. Girl, you can't even go to Mexico if you wanted to, bitch. And that's the only other border. Canada banning letting bitches in there. You're like, you can't even go to Mexico. They're like, no, we don't want it. Keep that shit up there. Keep y'all crazies and y'all racist shit up there. Well, y'all got it.
They got racist shit
in.
too. They got racist shit too, though.
Oh, of course. Same shit, different language. That's all of the Americans. That's damn the world if you think about it. Okay. So much civil unrest.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter and SARS.
It's going crazy in Africa right now.
Girl, oh
but
my
I feel
God.
like I think this is all necessary. I think that
of course.
The way that Black people are supporting each other across the diaspora and embracing Pan-Africanism,
yeah,
I think we're gonna see
that's
some
the
change.
great thing.
Because at first it was just like, you're not African enough, or you're too African.
Yeah.
Sure, this, that, all this bullshit, and it was absolutely unnecessary, really, because colonialism and white supremacy has all like a ton of bricks.
Come on. Whether you stayed in Africa or you didn't,
sure,
we all feel it. Okay, this shit's crazy. Ethiopia is the only country that didn't get taken over, and they still going through shit. Exactly. So, come on. Africa in general, like any of the countries there, if they had leaders who like, I'm not gonna say that because I don't know much Africa and I'm not that educated, but I just feel if they had leaders who actually believed in their own countries instead of trying to outsource everything, because I feel and maybe I need to do more research, but I feel like them outsourcing everything. Well, I know that, but I'm saying like in the sense of
resources,
the continent, it has the most resources in the world.
Yeah, but
yet they're still so underdeveloped. So if the government of that country owns said resources within that country's borders, why wouldn't they actually develop? If they actually cared about their people, they would develop laws and ways to enact safer ways of mining, and they would sell their shit for higher prices because it's the only place you can get half the shit. You know, like they would find ways to go about it and to make, like, if they actually listen to what people are going through. And they like, I even see the stuff about SARS and whatnot, and how, apparently they're proven effective in like areas where they're fighting jihadist groups. But why is SARS in economic centers and population centers if they're supposed to be fighting terrorism?
Of an iPhone. That's what
like I said. Why are they in economic centers and population centers if they're supposed to be a militarist group protecting against terrorism? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you be it? That's like putting an army base in the middle of LA County. Why?
They did that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, if something's got to give, man. Something has got to give. Like, you have all these resources. Once again, it's not like you don't have resources. It's the same thing they're like we're going through here. Not the same thing, but it's like you have all these resources.
I'm just colonialism is deep rooted.
Yeah,
it's not just on an economic level; it's on a social level. You see people,
I know,
bleach their skin and stuff. So they,
like I said, they don't care about their own people. If they cared about their own people,
I think that's very easy to say from an American standpoint, and a person
it's easy to say from the standpoint of someone who knows that the sole responsibility of a government is to take care of its citizens. And that's just point blank period. You can add all the ands you want to, but the sole responsibility of a government is to govern its people and take care of the needs that they collectively need to get done, such as healthcare, public transport, managing the economy, helping in social issues, this, that, and the fourth. They're actively, just like they are here, just like they are there, actively putting things in place to put down people even further. That's why there's so much civil unrest. And I'm saying, if we actually put people in power who care about people versus a dollar sign, yeah, there's always going to be corruption. Yeah, there's always going to be bribery. Yeah, there's always going to be this, that, and the fourth.
With the capitalist society, everyone's there for the
I just don't think that it's so hard to do the bare minimum.
Even in Africa, everyone is there for the bag. People are taking bribes from companies.
I just don't think it's that hard to do the bare minimum.
Hold on, because
people don't.
Because European countries are paying these military groups, these militia groups who are committing genocides towards people, are paying them. I think Italy paid, I forgot what group, I think it was the group that committed genocide on Sudan. They were actually paying them and sending them guns in order to keep Black people, African people, from migrating and immigrating into Europe. So you can say, oh, if people just cared and didn't, you could say that, but you have white colonialism still. When the mining issue that is going on, what country is that?
I think that's Congo.
The mining issue that's going on over there, that's coltan. Coltan is used to make smartphones.
Yeah.
Who the biggest maker of smartphones? Hawaii, Samsung, and Apple. Who are those companies run by? White people,
China, Korea, and America.
Giant Asian companies. So that means even though Asian people aren't white, they are closer to whiteness and use that as an act of white supremacy to hold down Black people.
Yeah. So but what I'm saying is, it's cute to say there's still white people on top of it, but it's still Black people putting down other Black people. But and you can sit there and say race, but it's like, what's the point of race if, like, you hate yourself? Saying as a collective.
I mean, I feel like it's no different. What's going on over there is no different than what's going on over here. Just because there's Black people in power doesn't mean that these ideals and these resonating nuances from colonialism and white supremacy aren't playing a part. And capitalism aren't playing a part in what is going over there, because white supremacy and colonialism, as we know, touched almost every part of the earth.
Every part of the
inherently and trickle down.
Damn near.
Even to Antarctica. Why are the glaciers melting? Because giant oil companies are paying off politicians in order to keep their companies alive and allow them to dump oil into the sea and emit carbon emissions. That's just globally. That's not all this trickles down. Same thing that's going over here. I think that's what a lot of American people don't realize. American Black people don't realize. If you really read, you don't even have to read too much into. You don't have to read that much back, because we know what happened. So we know what happened. You don't even have to read too much back to realize and see. The same thing that's happening here is the same thing happening there. It doesn't matter if there's Black people in power or not. Now, I get what you're saying, like, where the thing is, in America, Blackness is personified. We have to identify ourselves. We have to say, I am Black. We have to say, I'm proud to be Black, because we are being put down. We have been separated. We had to establish a culture. We had to. But in Africa, everybody's Black. So what's left? It's not because they're Black. It's because of what? Capitalism, colonialism, greed, bribery, corruption, and then white supremacy. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, it's cute to say that, but they're not thinking about who's black and who's not.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think it's different.
But I see what you're saying. Like,
I think
if we're
I'm
all
coming from
black,
the perspective of like, us in America, we don't have much as it is.
We don't
But
have leverage.
them having their own whole countries and still not being able to overcome what they're going through is just very like, well, damn, like, I get it, like third world and shit, but it's not like y'all don't make no money. Like,
right.
It's not like y'all are just stupid. You run a country. Like I said, like I know, like there's always gonna be like the bribery, the lobbying, the corruption, all that shit. But it's like, I just feel like our main struggle is us versus them in terms of white people in our faces every day because we live with them. But their shit that they're going through, me seeing it as an outsider, I feel like they at least should have it easier finding their ways to being together against outside influences because they're all Nigerian. They're all South Sudan. They're all Ethiopian. They're all from Morocco. Like it's just certain things where it's like, you guys have the privilege of not all looking the same, but all having similar phenotypes and genotypes. We're still dividing ourselves because we have different genitalia, we have different skin tones, we have different skin colors, down to the colorism, down to it all. They do it too, but it's just like, I feel
like because we have a spotlight on us. Black people have a
spotlight
on us in America, so we have no choice but to be like, all right, everybody stick together, everybody stick together, everybody stick together. Because like when you come here, if you migrate here from Africa, you're no longer African. You are black, and that is it. Nobody cares about when they see you. They're not gonna see, oh, Nigerian. White people, people outside of our race can't tell who's American, black, and African. First generation, second generation, fourth generation. They can't tell it apart. We can tell it apart. They can't tell it apart. So when you come here, you're just black, and they're gonna lump us all together. So we have to stick together. But in Africa, we all black. If I don't like what you're doing, I don't like what you're doing. If I want to do what I want to do, I'm gonna do what I want to do. It's not because you're black. We're all black, so you can't use that excuse. So it's kind of like, but I get what you're saying.
That's literally what I'm saying. That's the point. Like, you're all black, so you should, not saying you should all just be happy-go-lucky, but it should be a little easier to find some type of common ground or unity against external influences. I'm not saying what's going on within Nigeria per se, just as an example, but I mean, like, when it comes down to like the mining, and even like with Senegal, how they're still using like child laborers to gain the cocoa mining and shit like that. They still pay taxes to France. Like, that shouldn't be happening as an independent country. You're not independent at that point. You're autonomous. So Senegal is still France. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's just certain levels of that. I'm like, it's not making any sense to me. Like why is nobody talking about this? Come on.
Where is your like, I don't want
to,
where's this
come
fight?
On.
But
come on. I don't know.
You can say,
I don't know, man. I just feel like
the thing is, from our perspective as Americans, it's very easy to say that. But as like you said, they're under French rule, aka colonialism. The French is a very powerful country.
Yeah.
They were to rebel. They were to rebel against the French, with the French army as a powerful country in the world, and small little Senegal.
Yeah.
They win? No. So there has to be room to make infrastructure in order to fight back. Because if you have no infrastructure, then you can't really do anything. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we could say that from an American perspective because we feel blackness so hard here.
Yeah.
And our colonialism is already so embedded. And at this point we're
But
past that, but they're still catching
yeah.
up with the rest of the world because they have not had the chance to build infrastructure. The only reason Black people have some sort of infrastructure is because of slavery, the capitalism that was built in this country, and white people using people of color to get the capital that they have to make America to what it is now.
Yeah.
And that's why we can come from that perspective, being like, why don't y'all just band together and stand up? And but where is this infrastructure coming from? And you're under a rule of a different country. They're gonna send guns down there to fight against that rebellion, and that's gonna be money eaten up quick.
Well, then instead of jumping straight to war, why not bring it up as an issue at a United Nations Council?
Because we're Black.
No, I mean as the countries, not just the people. Why not say, hey, we're having these issues. Can we figure something else out? I just feel like nobody's even trying. Like, there we go. If you put people in power who actually care, and I'm not, once again, I know there's all these hurdles you have to jump over to get there, but it's just like,
all these issues,
how hard is it
going on in Africa? These have been going on for years. They've never ever been brought up in the UN.
Yeah.
Never been brought up. I saw something on Instagram. It was like five kids were missing from one family. Didn't even make national news because they're what? Because they're Black.
Yeah.
It's like we could wish, but this is why it's important for us to all work together across the diaspora, because we're all going through the same thing, and there's power in numbers. There's power in unity. Strong together, honey.
Band together.
Like, there's so many. It's like, it's exhausting being Black, honestly.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting being Black. Like, there's so much like nuances, and
that's the most fucked up part about that whole conversation was that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's only the tip of one iceberg. Like, what do you do?
Easy. Like I said, we're giving you very much NPR, very much BBC, and very much MSNBC. Period. Giving you all the tea. Very, very, very.
I was telling somebody, I was like, even when we have moments like 2016's election, why wouldn't we have a special amendment that says when it comes to that specific scenario, we should have the runner-up president as like a advisor in a way, add a special term on the cabinet or something, because you won the electoral college, but you lost the popular vote. And
so clearly the people didn't.
I know that's a whole other
So clearly the people didn't want you, and that's
what I'm saying. And I know that's a whole other topic about Hillary, because Hillary wasn't any better, but given our options, back to circumstance, right? I just feel that that was the largest slap in the face to democracy, like, ever. And it wasn't like, 100,000 votes. Like, you lost by 2 million people. And yeah, you could sit there and say, oh, that's such a small percentage. But like, no, bitch, that's 2 million people. You can't fit that in your room.
2 million people.
I can't fit 2 million people in my room. So, I mean, 2 million people, that's the size of a small state.
During the 2020 election, even Republicans were like, this nigga's a dumbass. Like, we cannot do this, y'all.
Because Republicans are either business owners or...
But even they were telling they were saying, Donald Trump is an idiot. Don't vote for him.
Yeah.
And they just had to... That's the problem with a bipartisan system. You gotta jump on whoever is on your team, you gotta support them, and it is what it is. And it doesn't
really leave
room for change.
Anybody.
It doesn't leave room for people who really don't want to pick a side, which is people. They just want to do what's best for their families. People just want to live their lives. I don't think there's a large percentage of people who are just inherently fucking racist like that. Everyone
definitely no
biases, but I don't think there's a large population of people who are just fucked up in the head like that.
Yeah.
And it's very clear. It's very clear. And people voted for Trump initially because he was a business person. He's supposed to take us out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's exhausting.
Exactly.
It's exhausting. It's like, why? I don't know, man. I don't know. We gonna see November 3rd.
Y'all get out and vote.
Yes. It's like it's so far, but it's so close. What's that, next Tuesday?
I think more than
Tuesday?
I think we've had more votes than 2016. I think like 40% more votes than the last time.
Yeah.
That means like 250 million more people who didn't vote or didn't get a chance to vote are voting. So people are getting real active. The president could be decided by now.
Also, our generation as well, because we were like one of the first people from high school who actually got to vote or whatever. But the generations like after us, the year, 2 year, 3 years, they're finally of age to vote too. They're just like us. Okay, so shit.
The Gen Z, you know, the Gen Zers, we got our Kelly's dumb ass. We can get them right.
Period. Shit. We got the fucking generation of cancel culture. You want to try it? We can fucking try it. Okay. Imagine America canceled.
It is canceled.
It is canceled. You can't
Coronavirus said it's canceled. Miss Rona said it's canceled. Every other country said you're canceled.
You're canceled.
Don't come over here. You're canceled. All right, let's wrap this up.
Let's do it. This
has been giving me very much a podcast. Make sure you subscribe. You made it all the way through the video. Thank you so much. This is our first video. Please subscribe. We're going to have more episodes. Daryl's dumbass is going to be here.
Yeah. Next time.
Wake your ass up, nigga. Daryl will be here next time. It's been J-Chi, St. Maura giving Maura. And you can follow this podcast. You can subscribe first, thank you, and then subscribe on YouTube. And you can listen to it. You can listen to the audio version on SoundCloud. If you're an audio listener right now, thank you for listening. You can listen to us on SoundCloud at GMBMAP, giving the very much support. He is any. You can follow us there on Twitter, Instagram. I think we have a Facebook too. We definitely have a Twitter and Instagram, and we have a TikTok. So you can follow us at GMVMAP. I have to get used to the acronym. Giving me very much. Yeah. GMV. Follow us on all those platforms. MAP.
GMV map.
We gotta make a song at GMV. MAP.
Map.
What is that? Bobby much I for kid. We're gonna put some links down below so you can go straight to voting, get information on voting. For now, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. This has been our first episode. Round of applause for that. All right. We're out. Bye. Ew, we're disgusting.
I know.